My name is Christian Aguilar, and I am the project manager of DVA and Associates. This video is for the El-Toyon bicycle route in National City, California. The purpose of this project is to provide an ideal bicycle and pedestrian connection between neighborhoods, giving residents a safe transportation alternative in National City, California. This will be achieved by renovating existing Class 1 bike path at El-Toyon Park and connecting it to a redesigned Class 2 bike lane on Palm Avenue. This is the DVA and Associates team. We have Christian Aguilar, Project Manager, Specialist in Transportation and Construction. Rudy Zelaya, Specialist in Construction. Michael Donvecchio, Specialist in Transportation and Structural. Daniel Diaz, Transportation Specialist. Elizabeth San Pedro, Stormwater Specialist. And Daniel Lopez, Transportation Specialist. This project is taking place in National City. National City is a dense urban community with a median income of $37,000. This plan will be put on through various programs: the National City Capital Improvement Program, the National City Bicycle Master Plan, and the Active Transportation Grant that was awarded in 2014 for this specific project. In National City, the current facilities and existing conditions are as follows. There is a current bicycle path about half a mile long that is in serious need of improvements. There is a current street, Palm Avenue, that is a collector street with a posted speed limit of 35 miles per hour. It has parking on both sides of the street currently, and as of now, there is no bicycle path or Sharrow designation for bicycle riders. As for current bicycle facilities in the vicinity, there is 4th Street, which has modern bicycle facilities, Class 2, and it will be critical to connecting our proposed plan and making it one universal route.
Before designing the El-Toyon bicycle path, several steps in planning and research had to be considered. In regards to the site research, pedestrian and bicycle counts were conducted along each alternative. In addition, traffic counts and parking usage analysis were performed. This research would eventually aid in our decision of which alternative worked best for our project. To aid in our planning, the National Association of City Transportation Officials, NACTO, Seattle Broadway Bikeway, and U.S. Federal Highway Administration were utilized.
DVA and Associates decided it would be valuable information to have an understanding of the pedestrians, bicyclists, traffic, and parking activities. As a result, studies were conducted and it was determined that Palm Avenue had the lowest average speed of approximately 35 miles per hour, a parking availability of 50% during peak hours and 70% during non-peak hours, and also it had the highest pedestrian and bicyclist activity.
One of the main aspects of our project was determining the classification of the bike facility. A Class 1 bike path would be most safe because it is completely separated from vehicles and is exclusively used for bicycles and pedestrians. A Class 2 bike lane is a separated stripe lane on an existing road. This option is less safe as cyclists are closer to vehicles. Finally, a Class 3 bike route is a shared bike lane which is used by both cyclists and motor vehicles. This facility is the least safe of the three options.
In order to choose the best alternative, we decided to compare 3 possible routes. These routes ran along Euclid, Grove, and Palm from 22nd Street to 4th Street. Each route was selected based on their proximity to sites of interest such as schools, parks, shopping centers, and bus stops. With this being said, 3 different studies were conducted on each alternative in order to determine which one was the safest and most effective route to be utilized by pedestrians.
The plan includes 2 different segments of development. The first one is reconstruct the existing Class 1 path at El-Toyon Park, and the second one is a resign and stripe of Palm Avenue to create a Class 2 lane. The on-street portion of the corridor along Palm Avenue, 18th Street, and Newell Street has relatively low volume and low speeds and requires minimum, if any, volume and speed reduction measures. Enhancements include a connection with the existing Class 2 bike lanes along E 4th Street, a two-way cycle track along Palm Avenue, and markings or churros signage highlighting the corridor as a bicycle path. We concluded that the two-way cycle track was not necessary for this section of the bike path due to low traffic volumes and low traffic speeds.
Beginning on East 4th Avenue, at the corner of El-Toyon Park, an existing half-mile-long Class 1 bike path makes its way to East 47th Street. This bike path skirts the west side of El-Toyon Park, stopping on the south side of East Division Street, and then starting back up again on the north side of the street and continuing through to East 47th. Our goal was to revitalize and renovate this portion of the planned bicycle route to make it more user-friendly and appealing to the community. The replacement of the existing asphalt path is a necessity, as the entire half-mile length is in severe disrepair. In a few locations, damage to the parallel fencing will also be repaired, or in extreme cases, replaced entirely. To facilitate safer crossing of Division Street, a refugee island will be constructed. Solar panel lights will also be installed along the entirety of the Class 1 path to promote the use of the facility at night. Clear signage will be put in place to direct bikers and pedestrians, and removable bollards will be strategically located at entrances and exits to prevent access by motorized vehicles. These bollards will be locked in place and only removable by a city employee or emergency personnel with the proper key.
According to the SMART Foundation, during 2003 and 2011, there were 32 traffic collisions and over 40 reported injuries. The treatments implemented in this design will help reduce speed, volume of motor vehicles by creating traffic calming measures while not affecting the level of service. The proposed bike path and the Class 3 churro markings and bicycle signage along the path will improve the sight and visibility of cyclists and pedestrians crossing at the intersections. The signage and marking will also help to reduce behaviors that lead to cyclist, motorist collisions by increasing driver awareness of bicycles along the bike route.
In order to properly design the new path, an understanding of the local soil conditions, along with County of San Diego roadway standards were required. Data on soil type and properties were researched, and path width, cross slope, and thickness were calculated using various tables and equations from the California Highway Design Manual, County of San Diego Public Road Standards, and California's Flexible Pavement Structural Design Guide.
The National City Bike Corridor will span approximately 2 miles of roadway. Around half a mile will be demolition and installation of new pavement. The remaining 1.5 miles will consist of a new cover coat of existing roadway, new striping plans, and construction of new pedestrian safety islands. The total project budget is $800,372. This cost estimate includes complete bid schedule prices along with assumed construction fees. Activities such as mobilization and traffic control have been estimated through the use of standard percentages of the total sum of all line items budgets. The construction schedule duration is a total of 200 days. In order to mitigate any detrimental increase in traffic during the construction phase, the project has been broken down into 4 phases. Phase 1 will include the demolition and repaving of a multi-use share path. Phases 2 through 4 take existing roadway segments and add refugee islands, along with new striping dimensions.
DVA and Associates developed a water pollution control plan in order to implement BMPs during the construction phase and reduce the discharge of pollutants into the City of National City's stormwater conveyance system. A few examples of the BMPs that will be used are stockpiles to prevent soil particles from detaching and transporting into the stormwater runoff, preservation of existing vegetation for plants to serve as erosion and sediment control, fiber rolls, and gravel bags to capture any soil particles that might have detached over a period of time.
This concludes our video for the El-Toyon bicycle route. We hope you enjoyed the details that you learned about this project, and we would like to give a special thanks to the following: National City and Chen Ryan Mobility.